I'm finally ready to talk about one of my favorite Stephen King books. This book is definitely in my top 5 for this year, and it's way high up in the rankings for top book of all time. Of course, I'm talking about The Stand. I've read a lot of Stephen King's books over the years, but earlier this year I decided to read them all in publication order, and when I got to this one for the first time, it blew my mind. I should probably mention that when he first released this book in 1978, it had 800 and something pages. A few years later, he came back and released an unabridged version that had 1100 and something pages. This is the actual edition that I read. For anyone unfamiliar, The Stand is about a superflu that wipes out 99% of the human race, leaving us with one of Stephen King's most impressive character studies as he follows a group of people who seem to be immune to the virus. As we get to know them, though, we are also witnessing one of the most horrifying and well-written apocalypse stories that I think only Stephen King could pull off. Like, there's a chapter in here where we will meet a new person after the flu has swept through, and something not so necessarily life-threatening will happen to them, and then they'll just die because the world has collapsed, and each one is written off as simply no real loss. But anyways, back to the characters that we do get to know, because they are some of my favorite characters of all time. They range from a musician who has just gotten his big break but has traveled to New York to detox after he got caught up in the drug scene in LA, to a young woman living in a small New England town who just found out that she is pregnant, to a factory worker who just so happens to be one of the first people to come in contact with the flu after he stopped at a roadside gas station after one of his shifts. Other characters that we meet, there is a deaf man who communicates solely by writing. He's traveling around trying to find other people that have survived, and he comes across a boy who, due to learning disabilities, never learned how to read. And I know that sounds pretty comical, but their dynamic is one of the best character dynamics I've read recently. As all these characters start to find one another, they all start to have these really vivid dreams. Some of them are dreaming about an elderly black lady who lives at a farm in Nebraska, and other people are dreaming of a terrifying man who is trying to recruit as many people as he can while he makes his way to Las Vegas. I don't want to go any further than that, but this book winds up becoming the ultimate fight between good and evil. And even though it had over 1100 pages and it was a chore to get through, when I got to the end of it, I could have gone for another 100 pages or so. Like, clearly I really enjoyed this book. I could go on and on about it, but I will give this the highest recommendations. Easy 5 stars from me. And if you are up for the task, I think it would be well worth your time to read The Stand.